The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter.
Hello, all you beautiful people. Thank you for joining myself and Roger and Big Ray and Shelly Martinez back here again for a special Halloween episode. Welcome, welcome. We are happy to see you. So I see our chat filling up. Yay. So Shelly was here last year for Halloween, and we are thrilled to death to have her back again because she is pretty much the best cosplayer ever. If you are not familiar, there's something wrong with you. But Shelly is an entrepreneur. She is a model, a cosplayer, a 420 advocate, a professional wrestler, and just an all-around cool chick. So, as you will find out shortly. So welcome. Thank you for being here, Truckee girl.
Heck yeah. Well, first of all, the only way I could see the chat is if I minimize my screen. So if I minimize my screen, my face goes away. You guys want to see magic? Whoa, where's my face?
Well, I can see your face. We can see your face.
So I'll try to go back and forth.
Yeah, your face is right there. We don't see anything.
Kind of like whatever. Yeah. So it's just like I can, you know, when you get
those read you anything.
What's that? Okay, yes, there we go.
So April, are you the Looney Tunes nurse? Like, hello, nurse. Remember?
Yeah, well, I'm Jessica Rabbit nurse. So.
Oh, you're Jessica Rabbit.
Yes.
What's his laugh like? I don't remember.
Please.
Please, Eddie.
Yes, exactly.
It's close. I'm trying. I was telling April guys off air and Shelly that I wanted to be the most terrifying thing in the history of the world, so I came in as Antifa. And April had no idea who I was. So and I told Shelly, I was like, shit, I love fucking Star Wars. So yeah. What do they say? Peace be with you.
May the Schwartz be with you.
And also with you.
I am your father's sister's cousin's something former roommate. What's going on, ladies? Yo, you know what? This shit is hot. This shit sucks. I'm taking this off.
Yeah, I bet. Go ahead.
Fuck.
So one of the things I wanted to talk to Shelly about is that she is an entrepreneur and doesn't get the credit that she deserves. So a lot of girls have been in and out of the business, and usually they last, and you all can check me on this, but the general span, the lifetime span of a model or even a professional wrestler at times is about 3 years. So I mean, they're in, they're out, they're gone. And Shelly has been around just about as long as I have. And as someone who has had to work really hard and evolve and morph and learn a lot of different things, I know how difficult that is. So I thought it'd be interesting to talk to you,
Shelly Martinez,
about how you have been very successful with that. You are a businesswoman, and what some of the things that you've done and what you might be able to recommend to others who are trying to remain relevant, and how you keep going with your update schedule, and you've got a toe in every pond as well, right? Like a little bit here, a little bit there. You've diversified.
Also, I wanted to also add on to that, if we can discuss this as well. How does it feel like walking around being a 14?
What?
What?
I get it. On a scale of 1 to 10.
12.
You threw me off there. It was like she was getting all deep.
I'm assuming she hasn't watched the show recently. No, but seriously, how is it being hot? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
No, but here's the thing. I didn't realize. April and I have talked about this before, I think on your show and mine in the past. I didn't realize I was hot until later. Like, I'm talking about like in my mid to late 30s.
11s. Okay. 30s.
Like, I didn't think that I was like unattractive. Like, I always had a boyfriend. Like, guys never, whatever. So it wasn't that. I wasn't like, oh, it's so ugly. But especially being
you didn't realize your punani was so magical until later.
Yes.
Right,
but I'm glad because like I was so like, especially in the wrestling business, right? In the era that I came up in, and that's the same as you, April. It was really like blondes ruled, and it's like, and I love my blonde, so it's nothing against that, but
Tiny
there was a
blondes.
stigma that like if you got the blonde, the big boobs, that's like what the thing was or whatever. And so being tattooed and like black hair and liking things that are kind of like, out of the norm, like it's like, music and stuff like that. It's like I didn't think I was like standing out. Like I didn't think that the boys were talking about me like that. Like I just didn't. I just thought like I was kind of one of the guys because there was
Right.
friends with them and stuff. And so, and I'd hear how they talk about the other girls, but I didn't realize I was also talked about like that. I
Can
just
I?
thought, I'm Shelly. I'm just Shelly.
I want to jump in real quick. So, as somebody who grew up in the business, somebody who grew up around the business, and somebody who was a fan, I remember the first time seeing you, and you stuck out to me. I was like, "Holy shit, who is this?" With Kevin Thorne. This is the first time I think I remember seeing you with Kevin Thorne on WWE's version of ECW. Anyway, long story short, you stuck out to me because you were totally different. And I dug that. I thought, oh shit. And then I didn't know you were Latina until I don't know, well after your WWE run. I found that to be even cooler. At that time, what was there who was it? Just you and Melina, I think, at the time?
Off the top of my head, like, no offense if there was others, but yeah, kind of like at
I
that
think so, right?
point, at the top of my head, as far as like, yeah, like I really can't think of any, and it's crazy because even when I did the LAX thing, um,
That's my cousin, by the way, Sean.
your cousin for real in real life,
Sean, really?
Sean
he
Hernandez.
does
You didn't know
I
that?
not
worked. I
like
worked with him
me.
in Mexico. No,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
He does not like
he's on
me,
my
boy.
father's side. He's never said a bad thing about you, but yeah, he's my cousin on my father's side. He's half
Yeah.
Mexican, half Puerto Rican. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
know that.
No. So are you like cool with them? Like you guys talk and stuff like
Nah, I don't
that?
talk to him much anymore.
Oh, okay. So, well,
Yeah,
what
he
about back
sucks.
when he
Fuck
was
that guy. What?
when he was like in TNA, did you?
Did I talk to him
Yeah.
around that time? Yes, a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so then you probably you get what I'm gonna try to say right now. It was crazy because like I would hear things like this is all a legend, but I would hear things about how being an LEX our group, like we were really popular, but like because we were the Latin group, we weren't
Mhm.
really getting certain things handled
Yep.
business wise and like whatever. And I thought like at the time I was just feeling the energy of the crowd and like reacting, so I didn't think there was any problem. But then when I started hearing these things, I was like, no, for real. So like you're absolutely right, like that time was just different, not just in wrestling but like in life,
Yeah.
like
I would assume it was extremely not only being a woman in that business, and I'm sure it helped you build to who you are right now. This is one of the reasons I'm asking this question. I'm sorry, April. I
No,
had so
no,
many
no. Do
questions
it.
to
Do it
ask
up.
because apparently every time Shelly jumped on, I either got sick or I had something to do. So
I know. We were
I'm
teasing.
backed up.
Ray was mad. He's just like, every time she comes on, I miss her. You bring Colin on. So we were just teasing him all
Stupid
week
Colin.
long. We're like, are you gonna call out? Is Colin doing this one?
It's a crummy beard. But anywho,
Forgive me for 1 second. I'm gonna shut a fan off.
no, cool. So I mean, being a Latina, being a female, in a male dominant, in a Caucasian male dominant industry was like must have been like a double whammy for you. Like, did you ever find yourself in a position where you really had to just like step up and be like, look, chill, relax? You had to tell somebody that you didn't feel comfortable maybe telling somebody, you know, I don't feel like I need to be talked to that way. And again, I do know what goes on a lot behind the scenes in this fucking crazy business of pro wrestling, and it can suck. How did it help build you?
Here's what's interesting, kind of like with the hotness thing. There was so much going on whether it was WWE or TNA, I had no idea about. Like 0. I was
Mhm.
just doing like, okay, as far as like WWE went, there was no other vampire chick on the roster. So I kind of like, I thought, I didn't think of myself as competition. I didn't think of anyone else as competition. But there was, and I found this out years after I left,
Mhm.
that there was things being stirred up and like things being said and like these things that you're bringing up I had no idea about at the time, because when I was in WWE I was chasing after my unavailable boyfriend, on and off again boyfriend, so I didn't go into the politics. Again, I felt comfortable in my spot because I loved being the vampire. That's who I am. I'm part vampire, so I was fine with that. So when people were politicking or like these things were going on, I was chasing this dude around trying to make him like be my boyfriend forever. And then when I was in TNA, I was so heartbroken that I got the can from WWE that it was kind of like my rebound. So I was more into like the social aspect. Okay, get the job done, whatever. And it was there with the crowd and everything. But then like when people were politicking and stirring the pot and saying these things, I was over there drinking with ODB, having sushi,
Love
like,
her.
you know what I'm saying? Like
She's
I was
awesome.
making these memories because I needed that, because I was so brokenhearted from what happened at WWE. So I needed that like ODB
Support.
time and like, you know, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky and SoCal Val, like these different girls, like I would just like go and party with and hang out with. Like that's what I was distracted with. And then again, another unavailable dude over there, because again, another rebound. So that's what I put my time into. Maybe my career would have been more successful had I not been chasing boys and partying it up and having a good time. But I don't change a thing. So it's so interesting that all this stuff you're saying was going on, and I had no idea.
Wow.
And there's a couple comments in here, and let me welcome everybody. Hey, everyone in the chat, we see you guys. Thank you very much. I didn't want to cut anybody off, but welcome, and thank you for being here. Really, 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 really very much. And we had a funny comment here from Kulian Tiger. And he said, Shelly and April aren't afraid of nobody. They just grabbed life by the balls and rolled with it. It's like, I don't know if I agree with that or disagree with it, but it's a funny comment. And if that's how it appears to everybody, yeah, good deal. So, and Ali says, Shelly in WWE was like one of the Hex girls from Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Winona says she's relating because same here. She was always drawn to the wrestlers who were different, so she noticed you as well. Yeah.
It was a culture shock for myself as somebody, like I said, who grew up in the business and a wrestling fan.
Yeah, Jay Reese says he's mad that he didn't know that you were a Trekkie.
Are you? You're not? Are you a Trekkie? Are you?
Well, here's the thing. When I was younger, when I was a little girl, I would watch it, and then I didn't watch it for a long time. And then about 8 years ago or so, I watched this channel called Me TV, and they play a lot of throwback stuff. And like, I was reminded first of the nostalgia of being a young little girl and watching it. But then I was drawn to the women's makeup and clothing, and then the sets. And then as an actress and performer, especially my favorite performing, whether it's acting or whatever, wrestling, is in the live audience. So they have that theatrical feel, I feel, on Star Trek. So like, I just fell in love with it. And I wore this one today because, of course, this is the red one, the jobber one. And we all know I'm just a jobber in the wrestling world and in life. So here I am jobbing myself out on the A show.
I'm pretty sure I lost to you on WEW, but I'm not sure. I lost to everybody in WEW except for the tag team title run.
I never beat anybody. So
yeah.
Who'd you ever beat?
Right, that's my thing. I always say that. I'm like, what do I know? Who'd I ever fucking beat? So hey, again, welcome, and I want to welcome back people who haven't been here in a while, like Wolf. Hey, what's up?
And April, don't play yourself. I watched the match like a few days ago where you're hitting some chick with some I'm sorry, what is it? A Cialis suplex?
I'm hitting some chick with Cialis.
A Cialis suplex. You know?
I'm hitting her with some Cialis.
A Cialis suplex. I mean, she had such a boner when she landed on the mat.
Here, bitch, take it.
What is going on today? Jesus Christ.
It's just you said it. Oh yeah, we have a birthday too. We have is it Allie? Allie's birthday? Did I see that flipping through? No, Alex's birthday, and he said
Is Alex's birthday today?
Happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday. Who was I hitting with a suplex? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I was watching some match and you hit this chick with a side suplex. I'm like, fucking right. And I'm like, wow, April. I was impressed. It's just like fucking powerful, and you snap. You know, I mean, the girl. You know, yeah.
Well, I was properly trained.
She did have.
I just had too much of an opinion.
She did have a full erection.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So.
Chicks dig me.
Oh yeah, they sure do.
Leo says, "Hi, April and Shelly Martinez. Y'all look amazing and sexy today. Great costume.
What about me?
Are you also in the wrestling booty Mount Rushmore with Lola Vice and Tracy Brooks? Is that me or Shelly?
Both.
Oh, are we? Oh, is that the WEW thing?
No, Tracy Brooks is. I always thought she was beautiful. Lola Vice is a new young lady that's coming into NXT right now, and she's the new hotness. She's a Latina. She's a former MMA fighter. She's doing her thing. So that's if they're saying that to you, I think it's an incredible compliment.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate you. So I'm gonna throw in a couple. I'm gonna splice in a little Halloween stuff while we talk.
Nice.
So does anybody want to hear some interesting facts?
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll do that. So, you guys familiar with how they used to put coins on the eyes when people died?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So typically they would put coins in the mouth as well, and that was to pay passage over the Styx River for the dead, or to help them get through purgatory. And then they also did a different version. Old Greek history did eye stones. They would paint stones with the eyes, which they did in Game of Thrones.
I've seen that in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so creepy, right? But that was accurate, historically accurate. And this says we close our eyes in this world and open them to the next. So the eye stones were to keep the eyes from opening during decomposition and to give the dead a new set of eyes. And that was symbolic, meaning don't fear death. It's not the end of existence. And then lastly, as far as death, soldiers would leave quarters. A lot of people would leave pennies or coins or pebbles on headstones to let family members know that the dead have been visited. And when a soldier leaves a quarter, it tells the family that they were with the deceased when the deceased was killed.
So what you're saying is they left them money, because even in afterlife, you have to fucking pay tolls and taxes.
Yeah, it never ends. It never ends. You have to pay the toll to get across the River Styx. Yes.
Jesus.
So even
Christ.
in death, you're screwed.
Shelly, what do you think about having to pay taxes after dying?
Well, I appreciate your little joke there, because I have such a death anxiety. And when she was saying these facts, I'm just like, I'm very visual. And so I'm just there, and I don't know. And it freaked me out. And so then you come with your joke, and then
Shelly, this is what I do, man.
We're getting back there. We're getting back.
This is why she hired me. Colin would have probably made you cry. Where's Colin? Is he here?
He was here for a minute. What's
up,
he's Colin?
There he is. You remember Colin, right?
Of course.
He was my former co-host who steps in every once in a while. He's all right.
Nobody does. He's
So you've adapted a lot. Yes. What are some of the things that you have done that stand out to you, that have helped you basically stick around and stay relevant? What do you think? Other than staying amazing looking, because you look exactly the same.
You do look the same.
You look exactly the same as the day you got in the business. You have not changed at all.
And let me just
put
it out there.
I was chubby then too.
You were what?
You weren't
chubby. I was a little chubbier then too. So
you're not chubby.
You're not chubby. Stop that. Stop.
No, here's the thing. And we were talking about this before, and I want to say this before we get into that stuff. I do understand that I wear weight well, and that's helped me in life, because it just happens in life. You get off track or whatever. In my case, what throws me off track usually is depression. So it happens. So I've accepted that happens. It's just about when you get yourself back together. And every time I get myself back together, um, I just feel better physically. It's not just mentally like, oh, I have to be skinny. And that's the thing too. It's like I've had issues in the past when I was younger, where I was like 105 and I thought I was fat, which is ridiculous. I shouldn't even
105.
be 105 at, you know, not that I'm that tall, but still it was too little. But at that time, so when going back to when I told you I discovered I was hot, it was when I was doing the second time going back into the indies.
Right.
I was in my 30s.
Right.
And for the first time, I looked in the mirror and I was like, I'm not fat.
Oh,
Like, I'm not fat and I'm hot. Because
right.
growing up, I would watch like MTV and I would see these girls in these Guns N' Roses music videos.
Mm.
And so to me, I had this image and they look like playmates. And
Yeah,
so I always had
that
this
was our
image.
Instagram back then. That's what we used to
Yes.
measure ourselves up to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Motley
that
Crue
was my
videos.
ideal. I wanted to be like,
It's true.
I like that aesthetic. And I always felt like, because, you know, it's girly, it's beautiful, but it could be very strong and doesn't mean you're weak. So I remember looking at myself, I was like, oh my God, I look like I could be in a Guns N' Roses video. Like, I'm not fat. And that was huge. And then I started kind of dissecting back my career and how I felt. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe how much time I wasted
Mm-hmm.
thinking that I wasn't good enough, that I was fat, that just because I wasn't blonde, because as we talked when we were talking earlier, our area of wrestling, April, was like the blondes were like really pushed and everyone always thought you had to be blonde and you didn't have to. It was just like the stigma. So I wasted all this time and energy, but at the same time, was it really a waste? Because going like, it's how you kind of discover yourself, I guess, now that I'm thinking of it, because if I knew I was hot like my whole life and like all this, maybe I wouldn't have the attitude that I do.
That's
And
true.
so, and then going back to wrestling, if I knew what was going on when I was too busy chasing these boys or partying it up, if I was like aware of all that, maybe it would have changed things. And that's why people get confused by my demeanor with wrestling, is because they're like, well, you were having fun then. So like, why are you all like bitter now? And it's like, because I didn't know these things until after I was done with it. And like, that's when I saw or heard or got confirmation. And so that is a journey I think a lot of wrestlers have to go on their own, is falling in love with the business for whatever your reason is, seeing what the deal is and how you align or don't align with it. Like you're talking about, April, your mouth got in trouble. I am in that club too, you know? And so going back to earlier, what you were saying, Ray, like I didn't find it hard to go and say whatever I wanted. And that's why my career was very lived, like my 15 minutes of fame, because again, I wasn't aware that because I was a woman
Right.
and my last name was Martinez, that it didn't really matter. And then when I saw instances that was happening, like I remember one time, I love Vince Russo I love him.
I love Uncle Vince.
But there was a time in TNA where he would talk to Homicide or Hernandez about what I needed to do for my character, and it would annoy me. So what I would say I would go up to him and I'd be like, why don't you tell me? This is my character. Tell me, not them. This is
Mhm.
my character. And he would kind of get flustered and he probably just got nervous because I was getting in his face. And then I turned it into this thing where I got annoyed and I would just yell from across the room. I'm like, hey, Vince, what are you telling the guys I need to do today? So I am not the example of having a long career in professional wrestling. But to April's point, I've made longevity out of it because something was told to me years ago. If you have fans, you can make money.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can be on the show. It doesn't mean you have to be wrestling. If you have fans, you can make money. And I think everyone has their own thing they can offer. Because I was modeling and all that stuff prior to wrestling, it was a given. So I think I see girls, for example, that have gone through the wrestling thing. Maybe they're not having the best of time in their wrestling career right now. And then they jump onto OnlyFans, not realizing that it's not just about taking hot content, as you know, April. There's a lot that comes with
Yeah.
it that drains you, that
Yes.
depresses you, that
Yes.
makes you lose motivation, that
Yes.
gets you in a rut. There is a lot of responsibility that comes with it. But what we've talked about on your show before, you and I bond on, we had I guess you say like a media career before wrestling already. So we were already in tuned with all
We're
this.
trained.
But these girls just see it and I'll just do an OnlyFans. I'll just do an OnlyFans. And then, yeah, they make that money, but then comes all that stuff. So it's like technology is so good today because it's a tool. It can help you and it can help you get seen, get heard, share your content, share your name. But it's also like got stuff like that. So it's like, I don't really know what my advice would be except that great advice I got. If you have fans, you can make money. What you do with it is your journey. See what happens. But there's consequences. That's the thing. There's consequences, and people don't talk about that.
There is. And I wanted to say, you definitely have fans. There's people talking
Well,
in the chat for sure.
I,
And I
I
want
want
to,
April.
oh,
I
I just
wonder.
want,
And I was gonna say, I wonder why Shelly assumed that I didn't have an OnlyFans. She was like, "Yeah." So April, because race,
right? Do
fucking
they pay?
gross.
He
So
does, and
April,
they give him money to put his clothes back on, right?
yeah, all the fucking time. My wife even does it. She's like, "Honey, please, your socks. You look like you have
And,
fucking bare feet." What?
and I
Go
see
ahead.
more
Don't
people
do that
coming
feet
in.
content. Slippery slope.
There you
Slippery
go.
slope.
Let me
And
tell you
hi to
something,
Monkey
man.
Cult Coffee. So we'll be talking more about Monkey Cult
Monkey
Coffee
coffee.
soon. Monkey Cult Coffee. They are local here to me and really good.
Are they really
Good
good?
stuff.
Monkey
Yes.
coffee.
Yeah, Monkey Cult Coffee.
Monkey
Mhm.
cult coffee. That sounds like
Monkey Cult
something that
Coffee.
Shelly would
Yes.
drink. You know,
Yeah.
Shelly, I remember the first time because you said the first time you realized you were hot. I remember the first time I realized you're hot. Remember when you came out to the ring? So what's up, April?
But that's the thing, okay? Like when I did Ariel specifically, okay? No offense to Selena's, but Ariel was a very sexual character. I was just living my dream as a performer. Didn't meant to be just a wrestler, but as an actress, as a model. I was already doing that stuff, man. So it's like I was truly living my dream part in WWE. So I did it. I knew how to do the part. I was there and people, I didn't realize the effect. Like when people still talk about the Joey Styles lap dance, like I had no idea that it was going to be a big deal because I was so insecure at that time personally. I was just performing. It was no big deal. I was doing my thing. But once I went back, it's like I'm sizing myself up and I'm just like, okay, like, and this and that. And so it's so crazy that I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I did such a good job that people literally had a completely different opinion of who I am backstage when I was just like so insecure.
That's always a good thing if you can fool them, though.
It is a good thing, but at the same time, I'm going to talk as a dude. Guys can be fucking assholes when it comes down to that. Because I see, this is why I if you don't know me, Shelly, I always talk about my wife. I love my wife. She's dope. and you know that, right, April?
Of course.
She has some awesome big ass cities too. But anyway, so the reason why my wife appreciates me is because I've been the type of man I don't like to take advantage of anybody, especially a female. In my relationships, I've always liked the challenge. And goddamn, my wife is challenging and she's tough and she's strong and she's smart and she's beautiful and she's sexy. And I'm not sucking up to her. I've been with a woman 10 years and I still find her to be awesome. And that's because she is so fucking like strong. I love that. And the fact that men, I think men are weak when they have to, go after somebody who they know is having those type of issues. I've always found that to be corny and weak. And and let me tell you something. Like I said, I have to reiterate, growing up around wrestlers, I saw that shit a lot. Where I seen a lot of these guys, go after, these, they have a certain terminology for them, which I'm not going to use here, but fans that weren't necessarily, looked upon as, high quality people. I'm trying to be so politically correct.
The
here.
groupies. You can say groupies. You can call them groupies.
I'll
That's
say
a nicer
groupies.
way.
I'll say
That's a
groupies.
nicer way.
And my father wasn't down with that. That's probably one of the other reasons why my father retired from wrestling. But neither here nor there, man. I always found that to be extremely weak. I think if you want a quality relationship, and April, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think you should try to find somebody that's equal or even stronger than you. That way you can kind of work towards building each other up. You know, my wife is my yin, I'm her yang, vice versa. And I think that's the way it should be, but who knows? Not
like I said, you got to be really careful with the partner you choose, because one day you could be on the ground bleeding out and they're just standing there frozen. You got to make sure you got to make sure that you're not choosing a partner who's going to watch you bleed out, standing there frozen and not do anything. You got to pick somebody you go to battle with who will,
go to war with you.
Yes,
absolutely.
Speaking of, I'm going to throw in another.
I'll throw out there, April.
Huh?
Even the people that you keep around you,
yeah.
You,
like 100%. Yeah. 100%.
Make sure ride or die.
Real quick,
Colin is the worst. What? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I just add something really quick? What you said right now, I totally resonate with. But what also was a negative, and I'm sure this added to like people watching it, especially the boys, was I was so insecure that not only did the boys know, but like the girls didn't. So then in their head, like I got treated. Yeah. So it's like I had to watch my back with these dudes, and then
they thought you were snotty and the guys were preying on you.
Exactly. And because they're thinking I'm the bomb because I'm out there doing my. There goes.
You didn't need that anyway. Fuck it.
I'm out there doing my aerial thing, and then they're thinking I'm the shit. Right. When I didn't, like, I just was doing my job. Like, that's how I looked at it. I didn't want anyone's spot. I wasn't trying to get more screen time than anybody. Like, it was my little thing. And so it worked against me in a lot of ways, but then it worked for me in a lot of ways too. And I can't believe I just broke that bong. That's the last bong in the house.
Oh no!
Oh no! I was going to ask you. There's a backup bong.
That was a bong.
Yo, do you
and not even my backup bong, my sister, it's her bong because I broke 2 other bongs.
All right, so check this out.
Can we have a moment of silence for the bong, please?
Do you have aluminum foil and an apple? Because I can teach you.
Oh, I got stuff. It's just damn.
Damn.
Well, I didn't like the guy that gave it to her anyway, so there you go.
You know what? Well, maybe that's
killing off that energy.
That's the universe, April.
There you go.
That's what it is. Fuck, you know what? Fuck that bong.
While you figure that out, would you guys like to hear a little bit more?
Yes.
There we go. A little bit more Halloween trivia. And again, thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, you guys are doing great today.
Yeah, they want to see pec flex battles. We're going to do some pec flex battles. And every time you go, if you throw some bitties, you get some titties. You know how that works. You know it. So, all right. So The Conjuring, the movie, it's a real life story of a Rhode Island house inhabited by the supernatural. So you guys know that movie? It is based on a true story. Here's another one. Halloween falls on a full moon every 19 years. And we missed it. 2020 when they canceled everything.
No way.
That was Halloween on a full fucking moon. Yeah. It could not have gotten any better. So
hey, this is very important right here. Big Nick says, Shelly, all you need is a soda can and a knife.
Or an apple. We all know about the apple ball.
She's laughing because she's like, fucking, she's like, I knew that. Right,
yep.
Here's the thing. I have other devices, but sometimes you just literally need that like bong hit. Like, it's like it hits you differently. It stays with you differently. Mm-hmm. I like to hit the bong. Like, I like to have
your throat.
I like to hit the bong when like right before I work out. Like, it's a whole thing. It's a different vibe. And I just killed that vibe.
Well, somebody's going fucking shopping tomorrow.
well, let me ask you, what time does the bong store close where you live? You live in
California. It doesn't close.
Yeah. You can just go up the block.
She can just walk in. They probably sell them at the grocery store there.
There's a bong place right here. You want me to get you one?
Yes, a pink one. I'm disappointed in myself that within the same year I have broken 4 bongs in 1 year.
Maybe the
It's
universe is telling
terrible.
you something, Shelly. Maybe it's
Oh,
telling you to stop smoking out of bongs.
only in Cali do they sell like Palo Santo and sage in grocery stores everywhere.
And Four Loko.
I'm right. And then you can just walk in anywhere and buy a bong and mushrooms.
It's
You-
true.
I know,
Whoa. You could buy mushrooms just
but they've outlawed Skittles. Yeah,
what? Wait, what?
yeah,
You're
they
blowing
passed
my
a law to
mind.
outlaw Skittle. That red color, anything with that, they're taking it off the market.
So
But
Skittles,
yeah,
you
it's
can't buy
like a whole
Skittles
different
anymore?
country there.
You can't buy Skittles anymore in California?
They have signed legislation to stop Skittles, and I'm wondering if they're going to take Twizzlers off and everything that's red too. You know, like all the red candy. So
Well, if
here's
our
what I
listeners-
wonder.
Hold
Well,
on.
here's what I wonder.
Go ahead.
Just because we're a country of law, right?
Mhm.
And so when you start making laws, taking things off, and they seem like a good idea because it's like, okay, this does cause cancer or whatever. We're going to get rid of this. But now you've set a legal precedent to remove other foods that they have deemed unhealthy, like, I don't know, meat. So now anybody can finance a study, right? Like studies show, because I don't know, a certain group of people were paid to do the studies. So now studies will show whatever it is that they're supposed to show. Studies show that meat is not good for you. So we should be eating cricket meal instead. So now California has a legal precedent of taking bad food off the market. Let's just use that same legal precedent to take meat off the market. And by the year 2035, we're not going to sell meat in grocery stores anymore either, just like they did with gasoline cars.
Mm.
So that's why I wonder if that is what's going to happen there. Yeah, somebody, I'm saying your name right? Coolian Tiger. He says, explain to me,
It's
America.
Cool Lion Tiger.
Cool Lion Tiger. Okay, thank you. Explain to me, America, which you're not from, right? He's from Europe. You can buy drugs and guns, but Skittles and Kinder Eggs are dangerous. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So Skittles, the food is bad, and Kinder Eggs, we're too stupid not to choke on the toys, apparently. And here's one better for you. All our Walmart bags have to have a hole in them so that people don't put them over their heads and suffocate. That's how dumb we are here.
Yeah, it's like where Colin lives. Every wall has a hole in it.
Oh my God.
Shelly,
So yeah.
Real quick, I just wanted to ask you before I forget, if our listeners wanted to gift you a bong, do you have a place that maybe they could send it to you?
I sure do. Where's my mailbox listed?
See, this is what happens when you have a bong. You can't remember your address.
Yeah. See?
No, don't
That's what
blame
it
it
is.
on the bong.
That's what it is. That's what
Don't
it is.
blame it.
Can we get a yeet?
Because I was so passionate talking to you guys. I went like this. And
Oh.
You might want to send her 2 bongs. Have a backup.
if you go to my Patreon and you go to my little profile, it's definitely listed there. I just have been working on my site. That's why I don't know if I listed it there. But yeah, it's there.
So this is
It's,
Patreon.
So it's patreon.com/Shelly
Shelly
Martinez.
Martinez.
Shelly Martinez, yes.
Okay.
Very
No
simple.
E.
No E. And if you just look on the profile part, you just expand it, there'll be like where you can send stuff right there.
Come on, guys, send her a bong.
So
She
patreon.com.
lost it for you, dressing up
Let
for
me
you.
see. I know. I was being so passionate. Let me see if I have it on my site.
She
I
got
think
the
I might
Latina
have.
passion right there. So while you're doing that, here, speaking of there you go. Speaking of Star Trek, guess what? Michael Myers was inspired by Star Trek. You guys know that?
No.
Yeah.
You know that. Okay. He was
How?
the mask. Oh, hi, Max. Come on up.
Hey, don't drop your bong there,
Yeah.
April.
The I live in a safe place at my friend's house. The mask was reconstructed from an old Captain Kirk mask. So they took it, shaved the eyebrows, added the hair.
Shut the front
And the
door.
producer used an old Captain Kirk mask to make the Michael Myers.
I can't unsee that now.
You know you're not going to. So
So every time Michael Myers, he's like, "I'm going to kill you now."
1,000 1,000%. Have you
There you
guys
go.
ever seen the video that WWE did where Shatner does the WWE intros?
I
He sings
love
them.
that.
It is the most amazing. You're welcome. Look it up on your free time. It is amazing. I love when he does Triple H. He does when he's does Shawn Michaels is really funny.
I think
Like
I'm
it's
cute.
so amazing. Like I love that Shatner knows he is what he is, and he just like runs with it.
Yeah.
Like
Great.
he's unapologetically him,
Yep.
which is a lot.
Will Shatner. Will fucking Shatner.
You know, I think he just appreciates the fact
Will.
that that is what has made him
Will.
millions of dollars. So that's what the people want to see, obviously.
I kind of feel like that's just him, and he found a way. The original
monetize it.
influencer
Yeah.
found a way to make a living just being his asshole, know-it-all, yet talented self.
God,
And
how
it's
come we
funny
do that?
I know, right? And it's funny because something that comes to mind to me when I think about him is when do you guys remember when he like went to outer space when they
Mhm.
like did that thing? I will never forget when they're trying to interview him. He like had a moment, like I think it effed him up for a while. Like, and I
I know what
rightfully
you're. I think I
so.
know what you're going to say because I read that
Rightfully
interview.
so. And they're like interviewing him, and he's trying to like express what he just experienced, ground control to Major Tom. And then the guy just isn't listening, and they get the champagne out, and then you see Shatner, and he just goes, and I'm like, I so know that when you're just like, I'm just gonna stop talking now, never mind. And he's just kind of off to the side or whatever. So I always think about the WWE thing and then that because that's truly being shat on. Now you guys have been shat on.
Big shout out to Cool Lion Tiger who
Yeah.
just subscribed to Shelly's Patreon. Thank you, my friend.
Woohoo!
Woo, thanks. Make sure
Yeah.
to send me a DM.
He gets
Yeah.
a yeet.
If you guys are in
Yeet!
a subscribing mood, you can also subscribe to patreon.com April Hunter as well. I mean, if you're throwing money, I'm happy to take yours as well.
Yeah.
Throw it.
So
just,
Shatner came back and I read one of his interviews and he said that he thought space was going to be amazing. And he went out there and he said there's something but dark and like death. And he realized that all the light and life was on Earth. And it made him realize that where we live, everything is here. We're all connected. We're all one. All the light and life is here, and we need to protect that. And I thought that was a really interesting observation because he was like,
Well,
he was so excited going out here. And then he came back. He's like, this is where it's at, coming back.
Yeah. And he seemed very effed up over it. And I'd seen interviews he would do like shortly after, and he seemed off. And I got it. And what you just said, I'm so glad that you brought that up because saying it in that way, that's why I'm afraid of death. That's why I have my death anxiety my whole life because
Why?
it's here.
We don't
But you
end. Life
understand?
doesn't end, though.
I
We're
know.
energy. The energy keeps going.
And I get that, but like it's scary to me to fathom. And I've died before. And what scares me is when I died, I didn't think about my sister, who I feel my sister and the person I'm with are my soulmates. And so it bothered me when I would reflect, and to this day, when I reflect back to what happened to me, it wasn't a thought. All that was a thought was being present in this peace that I was embracing, which was the most amazing feeling. Like it was the most amazing feeling, like everything. And so like, I'm afraid of death, always been afraid of death. I died. And I'm still afraid of it, but
everybody usually who dies says they're not afraid of it anymore. It sounds like last week's guest, right?
Yeah, last week's guest was saying the exact same thing.
Except that he wasn't afraid anymore.
Right. And it was just like, he said it was just all Cialis and rainbows. Gotta break the tension. I'm sorry, Shelly. You gotta love you, girls. Guys, break the tension.
It's like
another
him.
Another side note on the Cialis tip.
Just the tip.
I laugh so hard because after I got the boot from WWE, me and my friends that have nothing to do with wrestling, they just live, I grew up with, we all went to Rosarito because at the time it was safe to go. And so we had our nice time over there. But because I was always used to being with the boys, right? And on the road, when you go to Mexico, everyone jokes about getting Cialis there. Like it's a joke. So because I was so used to it with my normies, I was like joking about the Cialis, and one of my normies has always wanted to hook up with me. Everyone's known it. It's been like a running joke. So he thought he had a shot with me because I kept saying, "Hey, Joe, about the Cialis," and he thought I was like, "Yeah, buy it. Like, I buy that Cialis." And he bought it, and he was so mad that I
Poor
wanted
guy.
nothing to do with him. Poor guy. I was just joking
Yeah.
around.
You didn't
Let
know.
his Cialis ass. So it's so funny because like I think I let that traumatize me a little bit, so I don't joke like that. So you guys, the Cialis suplex, and then
The Cialis. But so let me ask you a
It's
question.
like the German suit. Whoa, whoa.
So when he was in his hotel room, I'm sure he was very upset. Did you like pass by to just like listen in and you're like, oh, maybe I should just talk to the guy? And all you hear is just like him whacking like the entire time, like cursing at you.
Here's what happened. He bought the Cialis. We all pitched in and got a house on the beach. So like we were all in the house. He just kept trying to hook up with me. And I'm like, Joe, it's not happening. Like, I swear to God, get the F out of my face. Like it was like that. And so he kept trying. And at the end, he was mad. He goes, "No, I gotta take the Cialis at home and just jerk off for like a week." And so
So you're the only woman around? I'm just
there was one other one. There was one other girl.
There's
She was
never
real
usually
cool.
more than two, right?
Yeah,
On
No,
any
they're
of
never
these
more than
floors.
two.
funny.
And then I guess I wish I had it handy. I found those photos not too long ago, and there's a picture of me real drunk. I don't even remember taking it. And I'm with the girl because her and I teamed up. You can't leave each other alone. And so I made a sand penis and I have it in between my boobs.
Wait, what?
And I think
Sand
what I
penis.
did,
How did
I
you hold
was
the
like,
hold on, how did that stop? What? You can't just say some shit like that and just keep going. How do you keep a sand? Wow, how do you keep a sand penis
Build it
stiff?
up.
look,
You
you
build it
make
up with
it.
the Cialis.
and the
Cialis?
Cialis sand.
Yeah.
What
And
is
then
going on here?
I think what had happened is
All
I
right,
was
April,
effing
stop it.
with
April's
Cialis
like,
boys.
stop.
I
Fuck.
think I was effing
I'm
with
a
Cialis
nurse.
boys
I'm a
that
nurse.
time.
I know these things.
She
Oh my-
is. She knows.
Yeah, I'm
She
sure. And by the way,
knows.
somebody asked how do you do a Cialis suplex, and I said from behind. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna find that picture and send it to you guys. You guys can post it on your A Show Twitter.
Oh my God.
Fuck, send it to me. It's not gonna go up anywhere.
Oh, you guys are fucked up.
Oh, this is such a shit
I
show.
was at the gym today. It's funny too, because like when you're, it's like you. Okay, I don't know. Correct. I was gonna say correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you will. You're around guys so much that you become like a dude in a pretty girl's body, right? Because it's just, and for me too, I was raised by my dad, so that makes it even worse. So my dad was like, "I don't know what to do with you. Do you want to go to the gun range?" I'm like, "Okay." You want to go to the archery range? Okay. You want to help me grill this meat out in a pit and over some fire? Okay. So like this is his idea of what to do with a girl, right?
It's funny.
So you grow up and then you end up like in the wrestling business and it's like a bunch of guys. And when we were in there's hardly any women, right? So then you become like such a guy. So when you're dating, they get a little bit shocked at like how much of your personality is also their personality. Like, wow, you're like my best friend. Like, so I was at the gym today and I walk in the back and there's this girl. It was like one of the only girls there. And she's wearing short shorts, she's doing squats, right? Cute girl, cute young girl. And I look at her, I love to watch people. I look at her and I see like spotted, like at least 6 dudes around and one big lesbian. And all of them, nobody was lifting any weights. All of them were standing there, like pretending to look at their phone, looking in the mirror, doing whatever. But everybody was watching her. And I'm like, so I come back and I tell the person I'm with, I'm like, you got to see this. There's like this chick wearing short shorts squatting. So she's got a great ass and nobody is working out. They're all just kind of taking notes. And he's like, "You're like a dude, man. It's fucking awesome."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, it's ingrained in you. You can't get away from it. It's like, oh man, you know.
So question, how long was she doing squats and how long did people not work out?
It was a little bit, yeah.
It's wild,
I mean, it was
right?
a little bit. Yeah.
You got some dude looking like texting on his comb.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not even a fucking telephone.
Just standing there doing whatever, trying to clean off something from his shirt. Like,
That's
standing
so
there,
funny.
yeah. And War Demon High, he goes, April's German suplexes look like they really hurt.
They
Yeah, I
do.
think they do. They do.
They do. Yeah.
A lot of people never wanted to take a German suplex, and
Did
you
you-
can't blame them. It's a hard suplex to take. It really is.
And you have to
Did-
trust the person that's giving it to you, like
You do.
1,000%. I think that's why, like, I would let you do it to me for sure. But there's like some people, even if I like them a lot, like I would not. And it's just,
No, I wouldn't either.
you know,
The key is to get up down low. Like a lot of people don't know, they will grab you anywhere in your waist. You got to go down like almost to the crotch.
How
You're
low?
giving them enough room to go back
Right.
and clear your head and get back on their back and shoulders, and they will drag you down and screw you up if they're too high up on your waist, because they'll throw you into the mat and mess you up.
Tuck your chin in, kids.
Yep. Yep.
Oh.
it's complicated and
Wrestling.
people don't realize that.
No, they just see the moves.
Yeah.
And they don't understand the psychology of it.
Well,
Yeah.
even the wrestlers, they think, just because I do it in training and with everyone I train with all the time, so we're comfortable and we know each other, doesn't mean you can go to the indie show on the weekend, work someone you've never worked before, that's a little newer maybe. You can't be doing that stuff because it's complicated because you want a pop.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's like there was a huge difference between running drills and training and doing really interesting, cool shit at school. I'm like, and I know I just saw myself in the thing. I'm like,
what else you fucking got? Everybody's gonna
like I
fucking
said, when you're wearing a nurse's outfit,
drop their cell phones.
Everything is funny. So there's a difference between doing that and then the heat of the moment, doing something where you have 7-8 minutes in the ring or whatever it is. And damn it, this hat is driving me nuts. It's not staying where it's supposed to be. Anyway, doing it with adrenaline in front of a crowd and listening and trying to remember your spot and this and that and this and that. That's a whole different animal. So the pros do and always have made it look like it was so easy. And
how is like pro wrestling though? Like, how's it affected your career as an entrepreneur? Like, because we talked about like building, dealing with men and dealing with assholes and dealing with politics. And you got Vince Russo, bro, over here, talking to other guys when he's supposed to be telling you what to do, bro. It's freaking ridiculous, bro. Let me tell you, I know Shelly Martinez. She's a great girl.
But
hold
on, I gotta tell you something,
bro.
I did an interview. I did Vince's podcast like 2 weeks ago.
He's adorable,
and he was actually really cool. And one of the questions he asked me, which you can Chris, you probably maybe saw this episode. He asked me, he's like, what do you think I did wrong when I was booking the women from that era? And I was like, do you really want me to answer that?
What did you say?
And he's like, I really do. I'm like, well.
Awesome.
And I answered it. So
I'm gonna check it out for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I told him, he goes because the girls were working out, and he goes, I thought they really wanted to show their bodies off, so I booked them, like to show their bodies off. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Because he's like, the guys were wearing trunks, and they work out all the time. They were wearing trunks, and they want to show their bodies off too. I was like, okay, that's fair. I said, but did you book the guys in? Did you book them in popcorn matches? Did you give them 3 minutes? Did you, was there real thought put into the storylines? Did you give the girls main event matches? Did you work up to a main event match? I said, because none of that was done at the time. So you can't rely on just because they were working out and wanted to show their bodies off. That's
Right.
equal to the guys, because they were never booked equal to the guys. And as we're seeing now, you could have, and it would have been ratings.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I always knew that. And I'm like, I know, but I'm just saying. He's like, I was
And
always a fan of women's wrestling. I said, I know.
there were women that could work, not just wrestle, but work back then.
Yeah.
It's just they weren't given the opportunities to work. Anybody could do the moves, but there were a few. There were a bunch of women, especially back in the TNA days.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I know this
Yeah.
is not a wrestling
I
podcast.
could wrestle.
but
I just wasn't given the opportunity to do it.
You were very like I'm not
A lot of
bullshitting you.
my stuff that's online sucks or it's bullshit
It's
or
pretty
whatever.
good.
But if I was ever really giving an opportunity to go, I could actually go. But it wasn't that often.
Go right now. Go ahead.
Let's do it. Let's do
I
it.
dare you.
I got Seattle suplex for you,
Go
motherfucker.
see how the dog behind you. Where's the dog? Where's the dog? Is the dog there?
And then I'll do a sweet dive on you.
There you go. And Cool Lion Tiger, thank you.
Tell me more about the sand penises.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. How the hell? You
Well,
never
there was
explain
only
how
one sand penis in my life.
right.
That's what we all say.
Once you've gone sand penis, you never go back.
Right.
I know. Colin's been there. Good. What's up, April?
Okay. I'm gonna throw out some more Halloween stuff if you want
Sure.
to.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Why not?
All right. Are you familiar with? Do you guys know what Samhain is?
Who?
Samhain. It's spelled Samhain, Samhain, which is how a lot of people pronounce it. But that is what precedes Halloween. That's what Halloween is based off of. So Samhain means summer's end. It's a harvest festival from ancient Irish roots. It's when the Celtic tribes held their festivals and made up new laws, and it was technically their new year. And in Ireland, it's still a bank holiday. So pretty much all the holidays have come from the pagans and all of their traditions. So Samhain was Halloween before Halloween. So
Is there such thing as a traditional Halloween meal? You know how like in Latino
there
culture.
might be in Ireland.
You think so?
I would. There might be in Ireland because like I said, if it's a bank holiday in Ireland, I'm sure they have a traditional something or the other there.
Halloween is it like a government holiday in Ireland?
Yeah, because it's a this is where it originally started. Samhain started in Ireland.
I did not know
ancient
that.
Celtic roots. Well, I just read it to you.
Well, I know that, but I didn't know it before you read it to me. Give me a break, man. I'm still thinking about the whole fucking sand penis thing. I'm still trying to figure that thing out.
As you should.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, it is a big holiday in Ireland still. And to add to that, as you guys would know, a lot of people confuse Day of the Dead with Halloween, but they should not be confused. They are completely different. And Day of the Dead is over 3,000 years old. It's a traditional celebration in the Hispanic community.
It's a beautiful celebration.
To celebrate the people who have passed, and it's completely different than Halloween.
Hey Shelly, did you know that I forced April to watch Coco? Have you seen it?
I have.
What just happened here? You okay?
I
Get a bum. There's a bum
again because it's too much. No, I saw it twice actually. I saw it once on an airplane, which was great. I was crying my freaking eyes out so hard, ugly crying so much that the steward's like, "Are you okay?" And I couldn't breathe.
She turned around with a Spanish accent. I am fine.
And then of course I had to share it with my sister because I was on a flight so then I had to watch it again, which was even more exhausting emotionally. So it's a good film. I really love it. I feel like it does represent a lot of what the essence of Dia de los Muertos is all about, and what people think of me because I'm part vampire. They think I'm all about Halloween when it's like I think Halloween sucks. It's fun, but like whatever, it sucks. I'm Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos all day long because even though I have this death anxiety, going back to the energy you were talking about, April, I think it's very important to honor the dead. You don't have to do it just on the that Day of the Dead celebration time, but energy is energy. So when you have all these people doing the same thing with the same intent during the same time, it's beautiful
Brings
and
the
it's
energy.
powerful and it brings energy. So as much as I'm so freaked out by it, I do recognize this power and beauty
Mhm.
behind it as well.
Yeah.
There's I walked by a shop in Ybor City a year or two ago, and this was written on the window, and I loved it. And it said, "We honor the dead, not with grief, but with gratitude."
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that. And Eva says the actual Halloween meal would be a pagan feast. War Demon
Oh,
says
okay.
War Demon says Halloween meal should be candy. What more do you want?
God damn right. Candy and bongs. Just bongs and Cialis and candy. Bongs, Cialis and candy. You're straight. You're good for the rest of October, November. God damn. You guys. So, Shelly, what is your like? I mean, besides Dia de los Muertos or Halloween, what's like your really favorite holiday? Do you have another one? Like, is it like Arbor Day or Groundhog's Day or
I love Thanksgiving. I think
Juneteenth?
Thanksgiving, you got good food.
I love Thanksgiving. That's my favorite.
I just love Thanksgiving. I don't know. Like there's
You
something
don't
like
have to buy anything.
it's just
Well, you gotta buy food and a turkey.
I don't know what it is about Thanksgiving. I just like I accidentally say happy Thanksgiving a lot to people. Like
Love
it's
it.
weird. I don't know what it is. Like and then last year Thanksgiving I was in the hospital, so that was a really powerful time for me. So now it means something even extra. So yeah, Thanksgiving, dude, that's my jam right there.
That is my jam as well. What about you, April? All right.
I'm thanking Jamie for the Corgos. Thank you.
Thank
What
you.
do I like? I love Christmas.
Yeah.
I love Christmas a lot. I just love all of it. I call it Yule though. I don't do Christmas. I do Yule because I refuse to go in debt, and I feel sorry for my friends because they get no presents from me. We usually we do food, we do my handmade gifts, we may do a Christmas party, but I don't spend money. So
Your little hat needs Cialis.
my hat does need Cialis. It does. And you were saying that you went into the hospital last year. I remember that, and I remember you saying, and I wanted to bring this up because we were going to talk about it earlier, and you just reminded me. You were saying that while you were in the hospital, you were receiving pressure from one of the nurses to get vaccinated over and over again, and you were kind of holding fast on that one. And you should be kind of glad that you did. Are you, or are you not?
I never talk about this stuff, but since I'm asked,
there's a point to this. There's a point to the story.
I've never been regretful of not getting vaccinated.
You've never even had one shot, right?
She lives in California, so it must have been really difficult.
Goddamn lucky.
It was, but there's a lot of reasons, but to sum it all up, I don't think it's cool that at the end of the day, this is something that has not been out there that long. So I think it's real crappy that there was this whole turn in our society where like, if you chose to not put it in your body, and like, for me, I had many different reasons, but to sum it up is there's not enough science to back up. What if in 10 years this happens? What if this and that? You just don't, the data's not there. So why is it
but
that
you're supposed to trust the science that isn't
I
there?
know. But it's like, but if you're literally saying like, hey man, okay, cool, but let's see what happens. And you get like, you know what I'm saying? Like families divided and like, that's what? Why? No. And I know that's what they want, blah, blah, blah. But, I've never been regretful. I've always stand firm. And anyone that has tried, because last year I was having health issues. So for many months before I landed myself in the hospital, as you know, April, I was going to the doctors a lot. And like, I just remember they were just like, I would get literally treated like crap, like when they knew I was the unvaccinated person, like crap.
Mhm.
And I'm over here all freaked out because I'm going through things with my health. And just because, so what? And I got my damn mask on. Isn't that what you say to do? Like, God.
I'm going to text you. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Hold tough. Hang in there. It's going to come out later. Well, that's
and the guilt, they were trying to like guilt me. They're like, oh, did you know that X, Y, and Z could happen if you don't do this? And then like days later, I remember I texted you about it. And like days later, some data came out that the X, Y, and Z that this person was talking about was like, it just
I know.
counteracted what the person said. And this is the doctor telling me this. Like,
well, there's a point to this, bringing this up. So as
you should have worn a mask like this.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. As of this week, if you or yours, and that totally makes sense. I've seen people do that. If you or yours have experienced any kind of an issue from the mRNA vaccine, which would be the Pfizer or the Moderna, or you've lost somebody suddenly, or dealt with myocarditis, sudden death, blood clots, anything like that, you are now eligible to sue. So they have come up with the conclusion that the vaccines have been contaminated, that there was some kind of tampering or contamination, and that the companies are now eligible to be sued. In my personal opinion, I don't think that's true. Like, I don't think it was contaminated. I think they knew from the get-go that this was not a good thing, and they just wanted a profit. I don't think there's a chance in hell they were contaminated. I think it's just the way they were made, because when you give a vaccine company indemnity, like no liability whatsoever, they can put arsenic in there because nothing matters. They can fill the vaccine with hot chocolate and lead and say, this is good for you. Yeah, exactly. Here's some Cialis and some plant, food, and take this. It's going to be good for you. So when you give them total whatever, they can do whatever they want. So, and I think that was the case. So they did whatever they wanted. Yes, and hot chocolate is awesome. I might take a vaccine full of hot chocolate.
Awesome.
But I think that them saying that it was contaminated is their way of passing the buck to get out of a second Nuremberg trial. Because they don't want to go back to trial for genocide and for knowingly murdering more people than COVID killed, because that's where we are now. So this is their way of saying, yeah, we know the numbers are adding up and we know stuff's happening. So obviously things were contaminated. We didn't do it purposefully. Please don't check our trials to show that we knew about it ahead of time. So that is something that I wanted to mention ahead of time. So there's that, and I'm glad you didn't do it.
The fact that this guy, and this is my humble personal opinion, Fauci hasn't been investigated, or has been investigated, and just nothing has popped up about it. It's sickening to me, absolutely sickening to me. And I'm happy that you didn't get vaccinated. I mean, that's not something that you hear people say. I had to get the stupid gimmick for my job, and it was like, you get it or you don't work. And I have a son and I have a wife. So,
and that's how they got a lot of people.
And I think all those people that pushed it, all the people that pushed it, should not be exempt from being punished. Whether it's work, doctors, all of them, they should all be held accountable. Not just the Faucis.
What happened? What? What's going on? You okay?
What I miss?
Yeah.
I'm just not high. I need to be high.
You don't have to be high.
Oh shit! I didn't mean. My bad, guys. Let me just change that back. I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't know where the hell that shit came from. Sorry. Shelly, you having a good time?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you're having a good time. You know what? Fuck it. We'll put it back. We're brought to you by Cialis.
There you go.
There you go.
But I just got the text that I got to get out of here soon.
No worries.
Whatever.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I have Cialis to push, people to see.
Hey, maybe
suplexes to give.
Maybe while you're out, you can pick up a new bong.
First, I gotta clean up this mess. It stinks in here.
Oh, bong water is amazing, right?
There's nothing worse than funky bong water. All right, so what do you want to do? You want to wrap up in like 5, 10? 5
minutes.
All right, that's
you got me for 5 minutes. What are you gonna do with that Cialis?
Yeah,
All right, so
pal.
let's do some rapid fire questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you could take just one thing to a deserted island, and it's not toilet paper, what would you take?
It's not toilet paper.
Don't think about it too much.
Oh, we have to answer right away?
No, this is
Oh,
not for
'cause
you.
it's
It's for her.
rapid.
Yeah,
It's
Oh.
rapid, so
yeah.
that's right.
This is
Oh.
for Shelly.
Go, Shelly, go.
Oh God.
Shelly, don't think too fast.
Does
Go.
my dog count?
Uh,
She's the person though. Let's just be
Why
honest.
would you want to clean up behind a dog on an island all day?
Oh, clean up.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it again?
you could take one thing to a deserted island. What would you take?
Okay.
See, Alice. Just say it.
Okay, one
I don't
bathroom, one
know.
bathroom item, one bathroom item.
One bathroom item,
There you
and
go.
it's not toilet paper, right?
Not toilet paper.
Not toilet paper. A toothbrush.
A toothbrush. Really? You're worried about your breath?
It's not about your breath. It's more about the feeling that you have in your mouth.
I know
Like
what
that
she
can
means.
just change your entire. Like you could be gross and sweat.
Mhm.
Your ass smells. You're gross. You're on your
Okay.
period.
All right, you're getting me sick now.
But if you brush your teeth, things
Fair
start
enough.
to pick up.
Fair enough. Okay.
I agree. Like
Coffee or tea? Oh, sorry.
No, please answer that.
Coffee.
Coffee?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say dogs or cats, but I think we know where you are on that one.
Yes, dog. I love cats though. I love
Okay.
cats. But if I had to choose,
All right. Favorite color?
blue.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay. If you could go on vacation anywhere, where would it be?
Costa Rica.
Really? Why?
I've been there before with unpleasant company. I'd like to go again because it was very magical and changed my life. So, and I made a promise to myself that the village I went to, that I was going to go back there with my sister. And I even bonded with the wife of the village. And she's like, "You're going to come back here with your sister." So that's how I feel about it. Costa Rica, baby.
Okay.
Was that a threat? Like you have to come back? Or we'll find you? You are going to come back to this island.
If you could do any dream job at all with no consequences, no anything, what would it be?
What I'm doing right now, except making money at it, to be honest with you. Like when I see these
love it. I love
influencers and
it.
all this doing the same things, but less work that they put in because they can hire people. They got like people because they got like that kind of money.
People, yes. I hear
like-
you.
Like I really love what I do. Everything I do in my content creating career, I love it. But I'm just not making enough money. So
No.
that's the only thing I would change.
It's hard. I feel like we're working 3 times the amount for 3 times as much for half the amount now. It's difficult.
I know.
So, and with
Because
the
it's such a concentrated or diluted, I would say a diluted platform thing to do. You know, nobody was. Can you imagine if you started? I think about this all the time, guys. Can you imagine if you started like around 2010 to do, doing what you're doing now?
I
where you
started
would
in
be?
the 90s.
But I did.
You fucking did?
We know how much money used to be in it.
Yeah, there was tons of
So-
money. Even back then, I
Yeah.
had a channel and I was blown. I had so many. And my fucking partner fucked it up. Stupid Canadian. It's a long story.
I've never I've been at it for so long. If you go to my YouTube channel, like I've been at it for over 10 years. I've been podcasting for almost just as long.
So you
I've
were
been
10 when you
doing it.
started?
What's that?
You were 10 when you started?
Get out of here. And I remember I used to vlog at like when I was in wrestling and people would give me a hard time, like you're breaking kayfabe with the
I know.
fuck
I
with
got it
the
too.
camera.
Yeah,
And
you
like
can't do that.
I was doing it, but I just have never, that's just not been my path. That's why that would be my dream.
Do you
Because
have
my
do
first
you have
dream job
Russo?
happened.
Did you have
What's
Russo
that?
like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Why you on YouTube? Why are you on the YouTubes, bro? You're breaking kayfabe, bro. You had him do that to you?
Well,
I
where
love
can everybody find you?
If you just go to shellymartinez.net, you can find everything there. My Twitter, Shelly from Cali. Everything's there. I have this link that it's kind of difficult and it has everything. But if you just go to my Twitter or my Instagram or my Twitch or anything that I'm on, if you click the link in the bio, it'll give you like everything. Like it's like everything, man. And so just go
Awesome.
check it out.
Man.
All right, and somebody send her a bong, please.
Yeah, send me a bomb. Listen, guys.
So before you go, will you want to peck flex? You want to challenge?
I'll
me?
try. I don't know if you could see.
I can see.
That's the
Well, we can
thing.
see.
Wait.
There we go.
Shelly, you're gonna have to stand up. What's going on? Oh, I was kidding. Okay, great.
I don't think they care. I don't think they care if you flex or not. Just stand. There you go. There
That
you go.
fucking works.
There you go.
Shelly, I genuinely hope that we made you laugh and you had a good time hanging out with us today, man.
Duh, by the way.
You know, and pick up that bong, get some Cialis, and have a fucking awesome night, young lady.
You too.
All right.
Thank you for being on. Thank you for coming back on. We love you.
Yes. I want her to say that she
And I
loves me more
love
than
you.
Colin.
And you guys have an awesome rest of your show.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks,
Bye,
Shelly.
Don't forget your
Bye.
Cialis. That's
No.
great.
No, you guys are awesome, and I thank you so much, and you should definitely leave the Cialis up. I didn't get a chance to say hi to everybody individually, and I apologize for that because we got in a little bit late today and just jumped right into it. So, thank you to everybody who's here. We appreciate you so much. So, yeah, there's a lot of people today. Wow, I'm impressed.
I got to tell you something.
It's like big ass titties. Just bring them.
Those were awesome, by the way. I like Shelly more now than I liked it even before.
Well, she's just a cool chick, and she's smart, you know.
She's smart. She's cool. She's chill, down to earth.
Yeah.
And fuck Hernandez. Fuck Sean. I haven't spoken to that asshole in like fucking 5 years. So
fuck
fucking
my cousin,
busy.
yo.
Goddamn busy with stupid Four Loco post. Dumbass, but he's a good guy sometimes. Well, we got 5 minutes. What do you want to talk? Oh wait, hold on. I got the button for this. Hold on. Where is this?
What do you guys want to talk about?
We can have more Halloween things. I can tell you that I had staph infection. You know, I had the week off because I had surgery.
How's your head doing?
It hurts. It still hurts.
Did the hair grow back?
So no, here's what happened. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. So here's what happened. Here's what happened.
Here's what happened.
What happened? I noticed this. So they're like, oh, these are dissolvable sutures. They should, you know, obviously disappear. And I'm like almost 2 weeks in, and the stitches are not, and it's sticking out. Like there's lumpy, and I'm like, I don't think something's going. I think something's going on here. So I look it up. You know, I'm leaving it be. I'm doing what they're saying to do, and I leave it be. And I look it up. It says, dissolvable sutures are supposed to, because I've never had stitches, that's supposed to disappear within 3 to 7 days. This has been 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so, and no, and then I realized it just started to hurt. And then I touched here, and this hurt. I'm like, wow, my head hurt. My scalp hurts to touch it. And then it got to the point where even just laying down, I was excruciating. I was like, this is really bad. Something's really wrong. So I caught them on a Friday. They normally weren't there, but I managed to go back in on a Friday, and I got a nurse, and they went in and they kind of cleaned it out. And they're like, we're going to send this to the lab. And I'm like, all right. And they're like, we relieved some of the pressure. We took out 2 of the stitches. I didn't think anything of it. Right. So they're like, we're going to put you on an antibiotic, and you're going to take this antibiotic for 2 weeks. I'm like, 2 weeks for an antibiotic, and then a topical one too. I was like, that's a long time for an antibiotic.
That's a little OD, yeah.
Right. And I'm like, doxycycline. And so I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, like, I remember hearing a story with LB, Lyndon Byers was telling me about when he had staph in his arm and what they did. And it was almost like I pulled that folder out, right? And I remember I said to the people I was with, I was like, I'm feeling I have staph infection. They're like, no, they'd send you right to the hospital if you did. I'm like, you sure about that? And I'm like, no, I think I'm pretty sure I have it. I've never had it before. I don't know what I'm doing, right? So go home. Don't think anything about it. Take the medication. Do the thing. Whatever. I have a follow-up the following week. I go back, get in there, and the nurse looks at me. She's like, so do you know the results of your lab? And I'm like, no. And she's like, she didn't say anything. I'm like, and it is. She's like, you've got staph infection. I'm like, could you guys not call me?
Oh my
Could you
God.
not tell me anything? They didn't call me. Nothing. And then the doctor comes in, does a thing, whatever. She's like, do this, do that. put the antibiotic in your nasal passages. By the way, they never tell people to do that normally. So when you get it, you should put it in your nasal passages too. Yeah, it does. It's painful. And and thank you for joining my Patreon. I appreciate it very, very much. Mwah. So yeah, this sucked, man. And I'm working all through it because I'm doing all kinds of. I didn't miss any work, nothing, but I'm miserable the whole time. And then I start thinking about it. Why wouldn't they call me? Staph infection is contagious, right? You can pass that on to people. So I'm mad.
I would be mad too.
And then they made a big deal out of saying, "Oh yeah, there's no charge for today." I'm like, for a follow-up on staph infection, you're not going to charge me? Well, first off, you shouldn't. Secondly, the fact that you're saying twice that there's no charge,
they fucked up.
Makes me realize that you fucked up, and I got it from you.
So when you contacted your attorney, what happened?
I didn't do anything.
April.
What am I supposed to say? I didn't miss any work. It's not like what I mean.
Yeah, but I think that I don't know. I mean, I'm not. We can talk off air or text, but that's something that they knew they really fucked up, and that doesn't sound right.
I know, and my head's still throbbing.
No, that doesn't sound right.
I'm on the end of my doxycycline now too. So
I don't like the sound of that. I would definitely contact somebody or talk to somebody that might know a little more about that than I would. Yeah, not a fan of this.
I don't know if I feel it. If I just feel like an idiot or something. Like,
you're not an idiot. It's just you know what. Unfortunately, we're trained to trust everything our doctors say.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
These people are the worst too. And like my insurance is so basic. I get like one choice for everything. Here's your dermatologist. Here's a gynecologist. You got to drive 45 minutes, north, but here's your choice of gynecologist. Here's this, here's that. So, yeah.
Well, my friend, like I said, we'll text off air, but hold on, I'm choking.
Well, if you choke, I will read a couple things.
Yeah. We'll go.
By the way, most popular costumes this year, we'll go back to Halloween. Barbie, Princess, Spider-Man, Witch, Fairy, Wednesday Addams, Dinosaur, Cowboy, Ninja, Bunny, and April Hunter. Yes.
A ninja and dinosaur.
A ninja. I mean, yeah.
Those all right, I have to stooge something off to you, April.
Tell me.
So do you know I'm a diehard New York Knicks fan?
I do know that.
I love basketball. So and I'm telling you this because we're friends, but during the entire podcast, I had the Knicks
I saw you
going
looking
over.
Down. I saw you looking down.
Checking the score.
You must have been so torn between the Knicks and Shelly.
Oh my God, it was so tough, man. Like I said, I'm really happy I got to come on with you. Oh, I love you, April. But I was happy to come on with Shelly because I've always been a fan of Shelly. I thought she was always cool, and it was cool to interact with her. And I think we made her feel happy. I think she had a good time, right?
Hopefully. Yeah, I think. Did you guys have a good time? I know I didn't get to sit here and directly talk to a lot of people, and I feel bad about that. And I will make that up to you next week, I promise. But
Do you?
I am happy to have seen. Yeah, I will. I do promise. Shelly's boobs as a basketball game. That's hilarious. But probably, yeah, realistically. But no, I appreciate you guys being here, and we will be back on next Wednesday, the day after Halloween, at 7:00. I'm so tempted to do another Halloween show.
I was going to ask you, do you have any plans for Halloween?
No, at the moment I don't. I think I have a photo shoot that day. Why?
Photo shoot? I'm just asking. Just do you have you have any friends? Do you have any kids that you might want to go trick or treating and steal their candy?
No, at the moment I don't. But I am this weekend. This weekend I'm in Port Richey, Florida, doing a film festival, signing at a film festival, Mistress Mary's Film Fest Evil at an old theater there. If you just look that up, or you go on my Twitter, Real April Hunter, Twitter April Hunter, Instagram Real April Hunter, Patreon April Hunter, you'll find that information there. If you are in this Tampa Bay area of Florida, I will be there. And if you want to come out, it starts at like 10 in the morning and goes until whenever. And there's a lot of good horror movies playing that day too. So cool. Yeah, that should be a good time. And I will have a bunch of things with me that day.
What is this? Eva says, will you have copies of your movie with you?
I will have copies of things with me, lots of pictures and all kinds of stuff, copies of my movies.
You know what? Fuck it. We should do Halloween part 2.
We should. The day
And
after, you know.
Yeah, we'll use this, and it's brought to you by Cialis. Tell me about that coffee again.
Oh, Monkey Cult Coffee. So we might have a couple sponsors, and Monkey Cult Coffee
We
might be one of them.
We
Mhm.
might. So we'll
Yeah.
talk. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Maybe we could talk about that.
Yeah,
next week.
they sent me samples.
I want
Very,
sample.
very good.
I do the
Yeah.
show.
Bourbon chocolate.
I drink. Listen, I never put over really my stuff, but I really want you guys to do me a favor. If you guys are on TikTok,
Mhm.
you guys are on TikTok, give me a follow. All my social media is the same at Big Ray Hernandez. On TikTok, I'm doing a bunch of cool little wrestling videos every single day, 5 days a week. I finish it off with on Thursdays, I usually do my fond pro wrestling memories, and then on Fridays, I usually do my favorite finishing move Friday. And it's been picking up, and it's I'm trying to get 1,000 so I can start going live there, and I have a lot of fun there. And I feel like that TikTok's a little more positive. I don't know, maybe it's just my experience, but haven't had no problems there. So if you guys do me a favor, man, give me a follow and share some of my videos, I'd appreciate it. If you don't mind, April, me putting my
No, let's do it. And Big Kenny's saying that November 1st is All Hallows Day. To me, that says we should definitely do it.
All right,
We
we could
also
do
have Day
another.
of the Dead too.
We could do another Halloween themed show. I don't mind. We'll keep this gimmick up. It says the A Show, where smart is the new creepy.
I like it.
Love you guys.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Love it. Love it. Thank you
Big
for
shout
being
out-
here.
Big
Yeah.
shout out to Cialis. Big shout out to Shelly Martinez. Big shout out to her gimmicks. Incredible. We love you guys, and April's gonna shake those things until we go home.
That's right.
So we'll see you next week, guys.
Yeah.
Peace out.
See you next Wednesday night. Come in costume.
Yes.
Bring candy. Bring candy.
Happy
Bring candy, little
Halloween.
boys.
Blah. Keep shaking. Blah, blah.
Costume showcase. Let's do it.
Yes, I want to suck your blood and your sand penis. Cialis and sand penises. You gotta be kidding me.